All these persons involved based on the OSP's arrests and how this case has evolved till this point, where we've seen some of these persons, top echelons of the GRA also being picked up within the week. How do you see things playing out? Very quickly.
Oh, well, it's the right thing to happen, right? Finally, at least finally, there's some accountability. Because, you know, Mr. Kansi, when this story broke, right, in the previous administration, you know that because Akufo-Addo was in the business of a clearing agent, he quickly got KPMG to do this audit. You know that KPMG had been quite charitable to Akufo-Addo. You remember a lot of civil society organizations said, no, KPMG shouldn't do this job because it had too many government contracts, was too close to Akufo-Addo's regime. They did it, and even you see with KPMG, so we saw a lot of bad stuff going on. Of course, if we had a more independent audit firm, we expected that the results would have been worse. So the key thing is that it's good that the OSP is also, you know, finally coming up to speed to some extent on this matter, right? Because you know that OSP was being gagged. OSP was being gagged. You remember the Kesi Ejabin famous Akroma press conference where he kept asking Ghanaians, are you ready to fight corruption? Are you ready to fight corruption? Are you ready to fight corruption? Right? Yes, he did well, but he stopped short. He didn't match up to Martin Amidu, who could specifically call out Akufo-Addo's henchmen who were gagging him and frustrating him. And that's one thing I consistently remind Kesi Ejabin that he has to do. Look, sometimes this fight, if you know, when you do, he who fights and runs lives to fight another day, they may not be that other day. You see that though Martin Amidu didn't stay in that office for long, you know that when he came to the famous Ejapa deal, he called out names. He mentioned how the president and Ofori-Atta tried to interfere in his work. Of course, he should have stayed on. The fact that Amidu says Akufo-Addo asked him to give Ofori-Atta a hearing shouldn't have been enough for Amidu to resign. But that's the kind of examples we want Kesi Ejabin to live up to. Yes, Martin Amidu didn't stay long enough to do court cases like Kesi Ejabin was doing. But when Amidu had the opportunity, he was very clear. He was clear. He named and shamed people who tried to interfere. The only time I've seen Kesi Ejabin come close is what he did to Professor Jampo, that Jampo had contacted him. But that one wasn't sufficient. Kesi Ejabin, you know very well how Akufo-Addo's ministers and government appointees came to you. You never reveal those people. But Jampo, like they say, Koto, Nǎbběď, right? So Jampo deserves to be named. But when, what do you call it? Akufo-Addo's henchmen and even Akufo-Addo himself was frustrating. You weren't bold enough to name them. But now you would want to name Jampo. I looked at it and I laughed. I said, what? Jampo's communication with Kesi Ejabin didn't go far enough to merit what happened. The people who sought you, even look, if you take the NDA case, the NDA case, Kesi Ejabin slapped the people with soft offenses.
Why do you say soft?
Yes, initial, just the procurement offenses. It was Isidore Tufo.
But is that matter still running in court?
Yes,
it's
they've opened their defense. So Isidore came in, reviewed it, and now ratcheted up the offenses to proper corruption offenses. Kesi was playing it soft. Look, even Akufo-Addo's friend, Napaga Clara Sulemana, because of her closeness with Akufo-Addo, she was in charge. The main person, this NDA case, Napaga Clara Sulemana, she had to, approve. The final madam to approve the transaction. How come you charge all the people and left her? We all know that she's close to Akufo-Addo. Very close.
I get the fact that I know you were neck deep in this case.
Yes.
Let's redirect back to the SML.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that, OSP had been slow, okay, in coming to SML, had been slow. But finally, it's okay that they've come. Because I thought that, you know, in September 2023, they got a lot of employees, right? Parliament approved earlier in the year for them to employ over 200 employees, around 230 something, right? Yes, of course, not everybody would have taken up the position. But with the numbers increase, one would have thought that some of these cases, it would have been, they would have gone much faster because it's now that this, what do you call it, Amishada, Usu Abuaji and co have been arrested. It looks a bit slow. You have to decentralize. You know, the system itself was too centralized, and it's still too centralized around the OSP. So remember earlier on, I'd mentioned that, look, when petitions go there, it shouldn't be left with Kesi Ejabe alone to look. It should go to a board so that there's transparency. There's transparency because some of these cases, I'm sure if the other directors were put in, like a petition arrives at the OSP, it goes to the whole board, a committee that looks at it, there will be much speed. But where everything is centralized around the OSP, you won't get the desired speed. If we don't hold the OSP accountable, we will not get better results. So we shouldn't be shy. You know, I'm not shy to support Kesi Ejabe. As and when I also feel that we have to put in fire for him to be more transparent in the work, etc. We have to. There's no space for shyness or the fact that I've known Kesi for over 20 years. That means that we shouldn't say anything. He's known Jampo for over 20 years. Okay, they were mates, illegal, but still he put Jampo on the spot. So it's the same thing. We all, this matter of, oh no, don't shake this table, don't rock the boat. It's not getting us far. No, we have to hold government institutions accountable. So SML is come on. These are arrests. You know, every two lawyers are here, ABG and then a lawyer. Kesi will tell you that as for arrests, it's just preliminary. So rather than start celebrating now, we'll wait for the day the case will make it to court. We'll wait for the day the case will make it to court because today is what, 28th.
Today is 28th.
28th. You remember the MPA, Mustafa Hamid's MPA. Kesi promised us that by end of the month, the case will be in court. Today is 28th, Saturday. So Sunday, 29th. So we have Monday. Okay. So Kesi Ejabe, gentle reminder. From the way he said it, I thought that by now, it should have, made it to court. But 28th, we still haven't heard anything. Well, okay, we'll wait till Monday. You see. So let's see. So SML, arrest good. But please, we all know, you can arrest somebody and keep him in custody for 100 years. If the case doesn't go to court and if it's not convicted, we haven't done anything against his record, apart from maybe having incarcerated him, kept him in custody for maybe a few days. So I won't celebrate too much the arrest because the arrest in itself is not a criminal conviction. So I'd rather continue to urge OSP to double up and then let's enter court because that is where the real game is and then they would answer. Yes, okay, yes, that's what I'll say for now.
Well, and talk about the NPA because you just referenced that the current CEO of the National Petroleum Authority is just joining us in the studio as well as a private legal practitioner in good standing. Godwin Edijitamaklo, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Good morning.
Nti boye nsama horo timi course wo channel so mama no asese wo jemre e wo hada sene so ba din dia dum be dum ini onu hie mai na yensa ensumo kwanzo fufu supra aha e population television am show say timi e jemre e wo